Building a house here on the Kelcher Homestead is one of my lifelong dreams.
Catkin asked me to help with kind of the dirt work project part of her construction.
Our plan is to basically get the daylight basement built.
I needed to dig some really deep trenches and get those put in. Those ditches were going to share a power line and a water line coming down to the house.
We're laying cable from the meter base down to the house. The skid steer started to slip a little bit because of the rain.
At one point, the skid steer kind of slipped, the thing dropped, and I tried to kind of keep it from rolling. The forks came down and they kind of nicked a little bit of the wire, which was a bummer.
We had a lot of these ICF forms stacked up. Fortunately, no one was checking the weather, so kind of a cold front kind of came out of nowhere as far as we could see.
Want something knock them downhill.
We had originally planned on being done by the end of October, and we still haven't got the cement poured. So I'm beginning to get a little bit concerned that we're going to get into cold weather. One never knows what's going to happen next. So the little sub-project I'm working on today is there's a lot of these little interconnectors on each of these blue ICF forms. And at the very top level, we're taking those off so that when the concrete is poured next Monday, we're able to flush them off more easily. And so basically, some of them are very easy, it's just foam. Some of them have black plastic in that's part of the rigid inner structure of the ICF forms. So once we get rid of this, we've got some foaming to do, we've got a little bit of piping, and then we're ready for the pour on Monday. So one of the things we're working on while door and window squaring is going on is we're foaming the whole place. We're looking for holes where cement might come out. You can see I've already done that one. And we basically have a foam gun, and we just squirt it in. Obviously that's not done, but for the purpose of this video, that's it.
Man, that's a lot of foam there.
Well, I'm trying to make this cake tight. I'm trying to make sure the cement stays where it's supposed to be. So poor Randy didn't have a heart failure when we start pouring.
So are we getting the Nadura to give us a sponsorship here?
Definitely think we should.
I hope so.
It's quiet now. We had one last day of work. Have all the ventilation and heating ducts in. Did a little additional foaming. We've got inlet outlet for power and water. Heating system. Water, got a spare so the water can go back out to the barn when we build it. Power source. So we're ready for a Monday pour here in Homer, Alaska. Thought I'd show you what's happening on previous work. This is where we had trenches dug. Grass is growing in nicely. This is where the wire and the water lines were put in. In the distance, you can see the daylight basement foundation that's beginning to take shape. Accomplished a few final things today. Got the windows and doors all squared in. Went around the building foaming, looking for gaps that need to be put in. Finished taking the tabs off the top to make it easy to trowel the cement at the top when it goes in. And we have water lines into the house. The water line out has not yet been put in, but it will be. And we've got temporary electrical power into the construction site through the PVC piping that will eventually have the new power going in. So we've had a good day. Busily doing one of the last things, which is putting in space for the utilities, and we'll be ready for cement pour on Monday. So Lord help me, we are actually looking at goats. So I'm a little afraid of what we have in mind, but it looks to me like
They're a little afraid too.
we may become goat owners. What's this one's name?
That's Wendy.
Wendy and
Ariel.
and Mount Ariel. Hello.
Look at,
Oh my
look
God.
at the girl goats. They're all hiding under the
underneath.
truck. Look at that.
Somebody's camera shy. So the big day has come. We have a pour going down into the walls. You can actually see how it's bulging from the cement, creating a footer. Over here, it's still baggy. That means the cement hasn't gotten to it. So here's the operation. It's like a cement truck hooked up to a pump truck. Just beyond it, you can see the daylight basement, and they're busily putting cement in the walls. So had a last minute requirement because one of the other water sources failed us, so I'll tell you all about it in a little bit.
Oh, I heard a little bit about it. There he goes. Tom to the rescue. Here in Homer, Alaska. The guy on the right is actually controlling the concrete flow. Randy, our builder, is putting the concrete in. We're making sure it goes into the footer itself. You can't see Tom, but he's on the inside, also talking to Randy to make sure that the whole footer sack is in fact being filled. Since our wonderful film interns have returned back to Hawaii, I am now filming.
So as the wall filling continues, we're noticing that we have some gaps at the bottom. So we had put in these plugs in the windows so that we'd have a way to get at those gaps. So eventually, we'll come back with the hose, fill these up, so that the gap where there's no cement looks like the bulged out sides where there is cement.
So what's your job today?
Well, today I'm going to make sure that the form plastic is straight on each side of the wall and make sure that it's not leaking out onto the floor where it shouldn't be.
Well, that sounds like a great job.
Yeah,
Maybe I'll help you do that.
yeah, you know, it's for new guys like me.
There you go. Okay, there's
Catkin.
the plastic form concrete
That's me.
right here.
Okay, we've got a water emergency. Ron and I are heading up to get lots of hoses because we don't have a water hookup. There's another truck coming. Oh my gosh.
By now.
It's all happening. We should have one empty by now. Right now we're getting the footing sack filled everywhere. That's really important.
Just vibrate that some more.
Going around.
So eventually, when you get close,
operated it too much, liquefied the cement and started gushing out over the plastic. Who knew?
So the blowout has caused us to now inspect each and every board to make sure they're properly pinned down. And here Tom is doing a little extra fastening of the board so we don't have another blowout. I don't think it was an issue when we were just doing the footer, but as we're putting concrete in the wall and there's more weight, that is what causes it. Well, super exciting to be done with the phase of our walls being poured. And next, Ivan's gonna come in and put in drain tile and do a little bit of dirt work. And then we'll be able to pour the slab, so we'll have these guys back again. But for today, we have the walls poured. We'll do some finishing work here on the Kilcher Homestead in Homer, Alaska.